How did Compass start? It was just a group of friends really that got together, who shared the same beliefs and the same faith.
It was a very hard start. We struggled with the student union.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of money. That's one of the issues we still have, trying to raise the funds. But I think going out the first couple of times really solidified that, okay, we do struggle sometimes to survive comfortably as students, but there are people who have it so much worse.
So as a group of friends, we got together, decided we're going to start a society where anybody can come and feel at home, where we can basically make a home away from home, because life gets really lonely when you're at university. And not only that, we wanted to do random acts of kindness because we felt that nobody was really looking out for one another. Everybody was just there looking after themselves. The motivation behind helping the homeless.
It's just the motivation that people deserve to be seen and be treated like humans and not ignored. We all get to interact with each other. We will at least have some, hopefully, God willing, we will have somebody we see once a day who we can speak to, who cares about us, who checks in on us. But some of these people are just isolated and disconnected.
We wanted to bring it to Norwich because we understand that there's a high number of homeless people in Norwich. The main motives behind it was just to carry on a legacy from home, bring it to Norwich, and hopefully people appreciate it.
And we just wanted to make a sense of community. In our everyday lives, we were rushing past these homeless people, that had a biblical basis to that, because in the Bible there's a verse where it says, I was hungry and you fed me.
We don't like to call it, feeding the homeless, because it's more care packages.
The care packages that we put together, it's actually quite a fun activity. We'll get together.
We meet every once in a while and we go shopping, usually shops like B&M where you can get really cheap discounts, and we get funding from the church and some minor funding from the society as well.
We try and get some snacks that are non-perishable. Food is something we're working on. Food is hard and it takes a lot more organisation. People ask for gloves a lot. I've had to give my gloves away like twice because when we first started doing it, I didn't realise that gloves was something that people needed. And so people would be like, do you have any gloves? And I'd see the gloves on my hands and be like, well, yes, technically I do. We have had some really nice experiences.
The best experience I've personally had is when I've taken time out to actually stop and talk to a person.
There was a guy who passed by, kind of cut out of a side street as we were walking down one of the main streets. And we saw that he was carrying a sleeping bag, so we decided to give away our last package to him.
I remember this one lady very clearly in my mind.
This lady, she was sitting outside and I think she had a boyfriend, and they were both homeless together. I think they'd been going through quite a difficult time.
She just started talking to me about how her life had been, how she'd been doing great, but then things happened in her life which then ultimately led her to losing her home, to losing her job, and then becoming homeless. But throughout all of this, she didn't take pity on herself. There was so much wisdom and so much insight I got from this one lady who people might have just walked past.
And it was a really sad story. That's the thing, they're all sad stories because they're all homeless. With all the things that happen in Norwich City Centre, so around the same time, because it was over the winter period, there was the Tunnel of Light. So that is an issue because it happens around the same place that the soup kitchen happens. There's a bit of an issue between the organisers of the Tunnel of Light and then the people who give out soup and the homeless people, because now the homeless people won't be able to easily accessible one of their main sources of food. And it's all in the name of, not vanity, but enjoyment. Enjoyment of Christmas, which is, I get it.
I don't feel like the government's doing enough to help homeless people. I believe that they've been let down and there's no way in bringing them out of that situation.
I'm not sure what Norwich City Council does, but whatever they do very silently. And so I'm sure there's always room for improvement. If there are homeless people on the street, there's room for improvement.
There are organisations which do help, which you can join. I'd advise you to join Compass.
It doesn't solve the problem, we know that, but inaction is the other option and that doesn't do anything.
Don't be scared. They're human beings, they're nice people. You haven't got to go out by yourself. You can start in small groups groups of 3 and 4, going out there, talking to people. And, these little bits of kindness do really add up in it. It helps other people, but it also helps you because you feel like you're making a difference.